Rolling. So if this is your very first time being on this call, this is Morning Dedication. This is a call that I typically like to do for the community every single Monday around 10 to 11 a.m. To pretty much give individuals a real jump start into their week to create massive success. I truly believe that how you start things is a great determinant factor on how you finish. And so for us to start our weeks off with these type of calls or start our days off with these type of calls, I believe that it's going to be able to plant certain seeds that are going to be able to flourish into you creating the success and having the day that you truly desire. And so, within today's training, you guys, I wanted to actually talk about faith, right? Um, and because I believe faith is something that is very, very important that a lot of people don't, take into consideration in their journey. I feel like a lot of people focus on the goals and the work. And it's like, that's great, that's important. But the faith is what's going to allow you to be able to do the work, even when the goals are not in sight, even when the goals seem far away, right? If you have the faith, it'll allow you to be able to build endurance to last long enough to see the success that you truly desire. And so I truly believe, and I want you guys to write this down. Your future is built twice, right? Your future is first built by faith, then it's built by action. Okay. So the goals, the success, the things that you want to obtain in your life, again, your future is built twice. First through faith, then by action. And so the goal of this training is to simply help you guys understand that faith comes before evidence, right? And the results that you get is what really strengthens your faith, but faith is what really gets you moving long enough to create the results in the first place. And so I want you guys to kind of title these notes Faith Before Facts, right? And so my overall goal for you guys is to help you guys build belief that will carry you until the results actually map, until the results actually show up, right? Because they're not going to show up immediately. You're not going to see it right away, but you need the faith that is going to help you build belief to stay down long enough to see it all through. And so, one thing I want to ask you guys before we really get into everything, right? I don't really want to teach you guys, just simple strategy, right? I want you guys to be able to really listen to the things that I'm talking about on this call and really strengthen something that's deep within that is very, very important. And, I've realized that a lot of people don't fail simply, and I say this all the time, a lot of people don't fail simply because they lack talent. Because the talent in this industry and what it is that we do can be developed, it can be built, but a lot of people never get to the point of building the talent because they fail in the middle of their journey because they stop believing. They stop believing that they can get better. They stop believing that things can shift and things can turn around for them. And so when you put an end to the process, you will never be able to see the result no matter what, right? You put an end to the potential, you put an end to the possibilities. And so, thank you so much. You put an end to the possibility. You put an end to the potential that was always there, right? The success that you want, the success that you desire is already right there waiting for you. You just have to be willing to stay down long enough and to continue to progress and grow yourself to reach that point. It's so many things in my life that, like even, certain moments like now, got on a call yesterday and I told you guys that there were certain educators that were taking, that were resigning and making decisions to do different things, which is perfectly fine. And in moments like this, it's easy for the average person to lose sight of the overall goal. It's easy to be on a call with less people and forget that the overall goal and the things that we're doing today is what's gonna is what's gonna truly lead to the abundance of people. But I've been through moments like this and I've been through times like this. So I already know what the journey entails. But when you don't know, you have to faith it, not fake it, right? You got to faith it. And so faith in it for the average person on the outside looking in, it might look like you're faking it. It might look like, oh, she's not really confident. He's not really confident. They faking, they acting like they believe in it. It don't work. It ain't. But from your behalf, you got to understand that you're faith in it, right? You're believing in it before it happens because nothing can ever happen until you believe in it first. And so I have a question for you guys, right? Have you guys ever really questioned if you were making the right decision? Drop a one in the chat if you have, right? Have you ever questioned, like at ever any point, like, dang, am I making the right decision? Right? Have you ever wondered if you are actually capable of doing something that you set out to do? Right? Drop a one in the chat. Have you ever felt like quitting something simply because you didn't see the finish line? Drop a two in the chat. Because that's something that is very big, very different, right? And I felt like quitting sometimes, right? I never really pondered on it too much, but it was times where, when I was only making 1,000 a month and struggle was just beating me over the head. And I'm like, yo, bro, like, how could I ever 10X where I'm at right now? How can I go from 1,000 a month to 10,000 a month? The goal is six figures right now, and I don't see it. We've all been there, you guys, and you're not wrong. You're not weird. You're not crazy. You're not like odd to have gone through moments like that and been through certain situations like that. And so this is why we want to talk about faith. So I want you guys to think about it. I want you to write this down, right? As we talk about it together, what is faith, right? What is faith? Faith is believing in something before you can see it, right? And an analogy that I want you to think about is the farmer plants seeds long before the harvest, right? When you just look at a seed, you never think about, oh, this can be an apple tree, right? Some people plant a seed for the apple, but you fail to realize that you're really about to get an apple tree. Some of you guys right now are in your journey and you're trying to plant seeds to pay your bills, but you're really planting seeds for abundance. Some of you guys right now, you're doing certain things and you're thinking about certain things and you're thinking at the small things, but not really the big things that could really come from it. And so in this journey and in success, you have to be a visionary. You have to be a person that can see the bigger picture when the bigger picture isn't there. That is the only reason why farmers do the things that they do, and we end up with the benefits and reaping the harvest of the seed that they planted, right? A farmer planted the seed and only seen the seed long before the harvest. An architect believes in a building before it's actually built. They believe in a three-bedroom, two-bathroom, two-car garage building before it's actually here in reality. And an entrepreneur believes in a company before anybody else does. You have to believe first in order to get the customers. Imagine if Chick-fil-A waited on customers to say, oh, yeah, we want a restaurant solely built off of chicken and waffle fries. Imagine that. Imagine we wouldn't even know about Chick-fil-A right now if they waited on us to believe in them before they believed in themselves. You have to look at yourself in that same light. A trader believes in the edge before ever even winning the trade. You look at the advantage that you have. You believe in that setup. You believe in that position before it ever turns into profit. Faith always comes first and result will come second, right? To give you guys a correlation, way back when I was working at Amazon, I was working every single day, getting the same type of paycheck, knowing that I was worth more, knowing that I deserved more, right? And the only reason why I was able to make it out of Amazon was because I had faith in the things that I was doing around me. I wasn't making completely amazing income before I quit my job. I faked it. I once heard once you got to sometimes get to a point. It's 2 points in your life. You got to sometimes get to a point to where one, you're utterly disgusted with your current situation, and that's the point where you will probably do big enough effort to make change. It's very, very hard for somebody who's comfortable with where they at. And this is sometimes why God, it seems like he's pushing us down, but I believe he's pushing us down to give us like a spring type of system to push us up even further. But sometimes we're so comfortable with being where we are that we don't take the action that's needed to go further. We do a little bit, we do just enough, and that just enough never gets us to the point of seeing and reaching massive success and seeing our full potential. And so they say sometimes you either have to be utterly disgusted with your situation, or you have to have your back up against the wall and you have no choice but to move forward. When I was working at Amazon, I was working and living a life that majority of you guys probably live now, right? I was clocking in, working, getting paid by the hour. I was doing everything that I possibly could do to make more money at my job. And while at that job, I was in the business. I was getting on calls like this. I was believing in leaders and people who told me that they could help me. I didn't know if they would. I was believing in the people that told me that we'll make millions together. I didn't know if we would. I woke up every single day dreaming about freedom. I had no proof whatsoever through my own situation that this was going to work and give me the life that I live today. had no guarantees that if I quit my job, I wouldn't look like a freaking idiot and have to go back and get another job. But yet, I kept trading. But yet, I kept learning. But yet, I kept growing. But yet, kept giving every single bit that I possibly could into my business for my business to do the same thing for me. You can't expect trading to do for you what you're not doing for it. You can't expect your business to do for you what you're not doing for it. So throughout that journey and that process where I strongly desired like change, I kept building. And eventually, right, January 4th, right, I started my job. I started at Amazon in August. I started trading in November, at the end of November, pretty much December, November 29th or November 26th. November 29th was the day that I hit the first rank. Was it? No, I think it was November 29th. And then December 3rd was the first day I ever hit a rank, right? So when it comes down to it, January 4th, for me starting in November, January 4th was the day that completely changed everything, right? I'm now at this point, December 29th. December 29th is when I got to $1,000 a month. December 4th was when I hit my first rank. December 3rd, my bad, y'all. December 17th is when I hit my second rank, making 600 a month, right? So it was 14 days in between time. Then we're going to go to the ugly camera for now. Then January 4th, right? I was now making $1,000 a month. I got on a flight to Vegas for New Year's and coming back home from Vegas on January 4th, I took a trade on the plane and I made $1,491 in one day. That was the day that changed my life. That was the day that to where 2 days later, January 6th, I quit my job and I didn't will come back. I never went back to a job. But I want y'all to think about it. What if I would have quit a month before? What if December 4th, right? I looked at everything and the things that was happening in my life because granted, there were still problems, right? Granted, I still didn't feel like doing everything I was doing. Imagine if I would have stopped then. So the problem is that most people expect evidence before they believe. And that's why most people aren't successful because successful people believe until they create the evidence. I was telling people all the time, yo, I'm going to change my life doing this business. I said it confidently. Some of y'all wait to change your life. Y'all wait to make progress to then be able to say, oh, look, y'all, I'm making money. My life is about to change. No, I said my life was going to change before I made the money because I knew the person that I was and I knew that I was going to stop to nothing. I knew it was nothing that was going to prevent it but myself. And I knew for a fact I couldn't even afford to let myself get in the way. It was a me versus me type of thing. And I cared so much enough about myself so I wasn't going to give up on myself. So I want y'all to think about it, right? And say this out loud with me. Successful people believe until they create the evidence. I tell everybody when you come in and launch your business right away, but Josh, I don't know, I want to get some results. I want to get a feel. No, you're trying to convince people. You're trying to convince people. We're not here to do that. You launch your business first. You believe first, and then other people will believe after you. You have to believe. And if you don't believe, then you're never going to make money that's worth some people just signing up because they see your money. So I want to give y'all a framework for the word faith, and we're going to start to close this thing out. Okay? F, right? An acronym framework, however you want to call it. F, focus on the vision, you guys. Okay? Focus on the vision. If you constantly focus on your current circumstances, you'll never create different circumstances. The vision has to become bigger than your current reality. It has to be bigger. I envision myself doing exactly what I did here in Puerto Rico. I came out here last Tuesday. I planned on leaving Friday. I went out to grab breakfast with somebody. And right after us grabbing breakfast, I was like, yo, let's like before actually on the way to me picking this person up to go grab breakfast. I was like, you know what? I was gonna go to the rainforest. You wanna go? They're like, yeah. That led to us going on 2 days worth of adventures. I said, forget my flight. I didn't reschedule. I didn't rebook. I still don't have a flight right now. I just came to this cafe to work. I just booked the Airbnb last night at 11 p.m. and I just extended the car rental. I dreamed of being able to live a life of freedom like this. I dreamed of it. I've learned so much about Puerto Rico since being here, from meeting people, right? I'm here eating at this restaurant. My food right here is getting cold. I'm not even eating yet. I scanned the menu. It took me to the Instagram. I told bro, look, I'm gonna give you my information so you can get me in contact with the owner so I can build a website for you guys. I'm thinking about possibly even living here partially, right? So again, right, the vision has to become bigger than your current reality. Because if it's not, you guys, it will never become bigger than your reality. It's gonna remain the same. You're gonna reach a point to where you're gonna be living the life in a cycle, doing the same things over and over and over until your vision becomes bigger than that, so much to where you work bigger than your current circumstances. Some of y'all feel like y'all don't got time, so y'all work with that limited mindset. Oh, I don't have time, so there's only so much I can do. And you give yourself excuses. But if your vision was bigger and you looked at yourself like a person that was building $1 billion future right now, I guarantee you wouldn't care that much about sleep. I guarantee you wouldn't care that much about all of the things that you're prioritizing that's slowing you up from making it happen. So my question for you guys is, what future version of yourself are you fighting for right now? What future version of yourself are you fighting for? Like, it gotta be a fight because it's always an opposition. It's your success or your complacency. You always it's always a battle. It's something versus something. It's bad versus good. It's winning versus losing. It's always a battle. And what side are you fighting for? Which side are you on? Right? When it comes down to this Puerto Rico trip, it all started as a vision. I literally flipped the coin. I said, if this coin lands on heads, I'm flying to Puerto Rico. If I'm lying, I'm dying. That's literally how it happened. I didn't pre-plan this trip. I didn't know anybody out here for real. Before I came, I knew of some people, but didn't know anybody. Didn't have no people that picked me up from the airport, told me what to do. I came out here solo by myself. Me living in Atlanta, right? In the penthouse, 21st floor, the Chicago Run events, global momentum creators. All of those things started as a vision, you guys. So I'm gonna repeat F again. Focus on the vision. Focus on the vision. A, act despite fear, you guys. Fear is never gonna disappear. I came out here and I ain't gonna lie, I was a little fearful. I'm like, bro, I don't know if I should get a rental. If I get a rental, they drive a little crazy out here. I might crash the rental. I'm so glad I got the rental. I didn't drove from San Juan 2 hours away to Crash Boat. Then I drove another hour away to Ponce State. I've experienced so much culture since being here. I had a fear of like, dang, should I just be outside wandering, walking around, checking different things out? And I did that and experienced a lot of great things. I had a slight bit of a fear, like, damn, bro, I don't know where this cafe is. Hopefully they speak English. Hopefully this, that. I've never been here before. Fear never disappears. You simply just become stronger. Now I'm stepping in any environment. I'm stepping in anywhere in Puerto Rico and I'm doing it. I'm doing whatever. I'm booking a rental in any foreign country now as long as they let me drive and I know the signs of the road. Fear never disappears, you guys. You simply just become stronger, right? Big shout out to Trinity on the call. If this is the Trinity that I think it is, right? Trinity was a little bit nervous when she did her first grand opening. After her first one, she like, yo, Josh, we got to do this again. She became stronger. She became better, right? Next, confidence isn't the absence of fear, right? I'm a very, very confident person. That does not mean that fear never still creeps in to this point. It does. Confidence isn't the absence of fear. Confidence is acting while you're still afraid. Write that down if you don't have it. Right? Starting your first presentation, you might be fearful, but when you act out of confidence, you act even though you're afraid. You go live and talk about your business, talk about this, talk about that. You host events, you approach strangers, you leave your job. Every major blessing requires uncomfortable action. Okay. Now, invest in yourself daily, you guys. Faith grows through preparation. The more prepared you become, the more confident you become. This is why morning dedication calls like this matters. This is why reading matters, training matters, praying matters, the gym matters. Consistency is what builds confidence, and confidence is what truly strengthens your faith. The T is trust the process. This is where most people quit because nothing looks different. It's like the business isn't growing, trading isn't consistent, no customers, no momentum, but growth happens underground before it shows above ground. Just because you can't see the roots developing and building up does not mean that they're not growing, right? It doesn't mean that they're not growing. It's times and moments where I'm just doing what I do. I'm posting my content. I'm working my business, and somewhere someone is watching. Somewhere someone is paying very close attention to every little bit of effort of consistency. That's happening underground. I don't know them. I don't know that they're thinking about me. I don't know that they're watching it. I'm just doing what I do. And then eventually they reach out to me and they say, Josh, I've been watching you this entire time and I'm excited to work with you. I already know what you do. And I think I could be a great fit. I think I could be great value to what you have going. Just because you don't see the roots, it don't mean that they're not growing, you guys. Right? So it's a lot of times where, there'll be moments of uncertainty, right? The company transition right now that we're going through, right? I'm telling you guys, look, I'm building things behind the scene to make sure that we're bigger, better than ever, right? Those things are uncertain. Uncertain. Like, okay, is Josh serious? I had somebody question, like, Josh, are you leaving too? Somebody in my business went and talked to other people and tried to figure out what was going on outside before coming to me, and then coming to me and saying, "So what are you doing? Are you leaving?" And I'm like, everybody's telling me that you're asking questions. They're telling me to talk to you. You ain't never come to me. No, I'm not leaving. H, hold on long enough, you guys. This may be the biggest one, right? F.A.I.T.H. H is hold on long enough. Success usually become Success usually comes to the person who stayed one more day, who made one more call, who posted one more reel, who attended one more event, who studied one more chart, took one more trade, enrolled one more person. Most people weren't incapable. They simply just stopped too soon. That's literally what it is. Most people just stop too soon. A lot of people, and educators made transitions and things like that. And I told one of my friends, and I said, yo, look, I'm not gonna lie, I understand your frustration. I understand your point of view, but I'm not gonna lie. I think your team and your community right now has the opportunity to win bigger than they've ever won before. And there might be some things in front of you that's clouding your judgment. But I would hate to see you move too soon and make a bigger mistake. I've been here before. I've seen this before. So I'm here to tell y'all, I have uncertainty. You know what I'm saying? There's things that ain't 100% on from my understanding. There's things that are not 100% to my knowledge with what's going on right now. But it's not enough for me to just say, okay, it's time to do this. It's time. I'm not gonna move too soon, right? So I'm gonna close this off with two last points, you guys. All right. Faith versus feelings. Don't let your feelings become your forecast. You'll have mornings where you don't feel motivated, you don't feel confident, you don't feel qualified. Feelings change, but your purpose doesn't. Faith requires work. God doesn't bless laziness. Faith isn't sitting around hoping. Faith is preparing as if it's already coming. Understand, Noah built the ark before the rain and the storm came. David in the Bible trained before becoming king. You don't wait until you're successful to become disciplined. You become disciplined, and then success follows the discipline that you pre-shown. Understand, you guys, you have to prove yourself. That is the quote of the day. I must prove myself. It's not you just proving yourself to other people that you're worth something. You have to prove yourself to yourself that you deserve it. You have to prove yourself to God that you're worth it. You have to prove yourself to customers and business partners that you're trustworthy, that you're worth partnering with, that you have value to give, you have value to share. And the only way you prove yourself is through work. Your words are not enough. Your actions speak louder than your words. So you have to work. You have to become disciplined now. You have to prove yourself to your mentor. There's certain people that wonder why I don't overly exalt more time and energy into them than others. And it's because like sometimes you still have you gotta like I demand help. I demand attention through activity. I don't call my mentors and say, yo, are you gonna help me? No, I go do whatever I gotta do by my freaking self until they get to the point where they like, dang, and they start feeling sorry for not hitting me up. They start feeling sorry for not reaching out, not checking in. That's how I operate because I have to prove that them sharing and giving their time into helping me is worth their while. Because who's to say that they can't put time into creating content to find somebody who's better than me? And who am I to want someone to sit around waiting for me to become great when they could find other people who are already prepared, already ready to be great to help them reach their goals? So every single day, you have to work. Every single day, you have to fight to becoming the disciplined, worthy version of yourself for the things that you want and desire. And so I want to challenge you guys to do one thing today that requires faith. Faith. Send the message, make a call, record the reel, take the trade, attend the meeting, do something that you probably was worried about doing, afraid of doing. Go make a video right now and tell people that you're partnered with global momentum creators. You're getting into day trading, and you're about to build an online business, helping people win and succeed. I have not seen many people do that yet. I have not seen many people make a statement that they're about to create a better life. And I believe that that's sometimes maybe the reason why you're not having the better life. December 12th, I made a video on YouTube before 2 days before getting to $600 a month. And I told everybody my life was going to change after that video. I told everybody I was about to become more successful than anybody has ever seen. I told everybody that by March of 2021, I was never going to work a job before by the time I was 20. I left my job in January at the age of 19. I believed in it first. I worked first. I put myself in a position to look dumb, to look stupid, to look crazy before I ever believed for anybody to believe in me. You don't need more proof right now at this moment, y'all. You don't need $1,000 trading day to believe in yourself, to believe in building your business, to believe in going all in. You just need more belief right now because one day the life that you prayed for, right, will become the life that you're genuinely living. And that's currently where I'm at. And I'm still moving towards it even more. And when that day comes, you'll realize that every difficult season was preparing you for it. So I inspire you guys to have faith, keep showing up, keep becoming, keep trusting God that God is working in your favor if you believe in God, and keep believing that everything, you guys, is working in your favor. Even the things that don't go right might be protecting you and saving you from something. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the chats. I hope you guys enjoyed this training, but we are out.